What's up, everybody? You're watching B-Boy 45, the Hospital Zone TV and radio station. Back again for another very special episode of Maya's latest news to keep you, us, me, really. I need all of the help I can get to be in the groove. And we have a very special edition, of course, with our friend Chris Tallman is with us. Chris, how you doing today, my friend?
Hi.
Yeah,
I'm
right
very
on.
excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you here on our in-house TV and radio station. Maya's been hosting her own show for a long time and has awesome people call in, and she asks the questions, so I'm going to stop talking. Maya, take it away, my friend.
Okay. So who or what inspired you to start acting?
Oh, good question. When I was young, I was very shy. It may not seem like it from the show, but as a kid, I really wanted to talk to people, but I kind of didn't know how. I felt like I saw, sometimes you see other people like with their friends are laughing, and I was like, oh, I wanted to do that, but I don't know. I don't know if I was afraid that people were going to laugh at me or I just couldn't think of something. But when I first saw, I think probably through school, like just a play or just a theater production or something, it suddenly occurred to me, it's like, well, wait, I'm scared, but if I'm not me, if I'm somebody else, they don't have to be embarrassed. And so I got into it more sort of like through trying to escape being shy. And then I saw like an improv comedy group. You know what that is? Like when people just sort of like make up the show from an audience suggestion.
Yeah.
I saw that for the first time when I was in high school, and that seemed like magic. That seemed amazing to me. And so I kind of decided when I was like 13 or 14, I was like, I don't know how to do that, but that's what I want to do.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You saw something that you wanted to get better with, and you're like, I'm going to do that. Yeah, get away from being shy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to be good at it, but I was like, I had to try. And I feel like that's a great thing anytime in your life. If you see something that maybe scares you a little bit, but you're really interested in, I was like, oh, I at least have to try and learn more about it.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you're an actor, writer, comedian, and producer. Are you equally passionate about all of these, or is there one that you like more than the other?
That's a good question. I really like performing more than anything. I think once I started actually getting into shows, it takes a while. Sometimes you have to audition. You don't always get to be in a show, or maybe you don't get to do the part you want. But like once I started getting in front of an audience, and every once in a while, you'd say something and they'd laugh. To me, that was crazy. I was like, wait a minute, they're liking this? That sounded great. So I think for me, probably performing's always going to be my first love. But I really do like writing. Part of the reason I got into writing was that, initially if I couldn't get into a play or there wasn't one going on that I could get into, at least if I wrote something, I could try and, put it on with friends. Or like sometimes at school, my teacher, I think, maybe got tired of me talking about trying to do shows. So she would give me a couple minutes at the end of class and I would do puppet shows, just things like that. So I've always liked telling stories. And I think ultimately being a writer or a director or dancer or singer, any of those things helps you as an actor as well.
Cool. So is there one project you've done that really stands out to you?
Yeah, Thundermans, I would say. I've been lucky. I've done some movies. I've done TV and theater. But I have 2 daughters now. And weirdly enough, before I had my kids, a lot of the stuff I did wasn't super kid friendly or appropriate. It was a little more grown up. So then when I started doing Thundermans, my daughters were probably like 6 and 8 at that point, or maybe even younger, maybe like 4 and 6. So getting to do something as an actor that the whole family could watch together felt great. And I'm lucky, like the cast on that show, Jack and Kira and Diego and Addison and Rosa and Maya, like they're all really funny, great people. And we really did become a family. Not exactly with me and Rosa being the mom and dad. Rosa and I were more like the weird cousins that would hang out with the cool kids. But I love that experience. I feel really lucky that we got to do as much as we did. And I just saw Addison and Jack at a wedding probably a couple weeks ago, and it's as though no time had ever passed. It's a really special thing that I got to do, and I'll love it forever.
Cool. So do you have any upcoming projects?
Yeah, right now I'm writing now on a show. The same people, or not all, but a lot of the same people who did Thundermans are now doing another show on Nickelodeon called Night Squad. So I'm a writer now on Night Squad, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say I may or may not be appearing on an upcoming episode of Night Squad. I'm not allowed to say. Who knows,
It
Maya?
might happen.
You've got the scoop.
Yay, we got a scoop, Maya. We always love getting scoops.
Yeah.
Nice. We got to look out for that one. Night Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Night Squad. Have you seen that show at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, Night Squad. If you haven't, for people who haven't seen it, I like the premise a lot. It's basically the princess of the kingdom wants to be a knight, but the king says no, she can't. So she gets a magic ring that allows her to turn into, from the princess, she turns into Ciara. So that way, sort of by day, she's the princess, and then she goes to school as Ciara. So it's fun. There's princessy stuff, but there's also, she's kind of like Wonder Woman, which I really like. And again, as a father of daughters, I like the idea of a show that's for everybody, but it shows girls being strong, girls being smart, girls being the boss. I like all of those things.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great sounding show.
Cool.
We got to tell more kids about that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And just speaking of that, I had to do like a project, like a presentation on Sacagawea, and and basically what I said was, so Lewis and Clark would have died without her. So
Yes.
I was like, she was like the leader of this expedition.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
Yeah, she really was.
Yeah.
But she was like the expert, right? And sort of basically, more than just a guide, she kept them alive and showed them how to survive, right?
yeah.
Nice. What grade did you get on your report?
I have no idea. I just did it today, so
Now you're getting the scoop, Chris.
I say A. A, maybe A plus.
Yeah. Bordering between the two. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Right on.
Yeah.
What else you got, Maya?
So, what would be your dream show to guest star on?
Ooh. There's a lot of great shows. I really like Modern Family. I like The Good Place.
I love that show.
I like comedy. It's funny, when I studied acting, I kind of always thought I'd be doing something more dramatic. Like I studied a lot of Shakespeare and stuff. But as I would work, comedy always sort of kind of come to me the most. So I really like that. Dream show. Maya, are you gonna be on any shows? Could I do a show with you? That'd be fun.
Hey. Yeah.
What about like the two of us as like high school students by day, and then at night like detectives?
Nice.
Yeah.
I
All
like
right.
it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can be the brains and the muscle, and I'll just kind of I'll be like the funny sidekick.
Everyone needs a sidekick.
Okay. Yeah.
That's good, Maya. You got one now, finally.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Now she can stop making fun of me.
No, that's never gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
It was a good effort, though.
Yeah,
we tried
thank
to
you.
get out of it. But
Us Chris has got to stick together.
absolutely, the brotherhood.
That's
but every time Maya gets you and she twists it. She twists a knife at you.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
Hey, Chris, wait real quick, Maya. I'm going to interrupt. Chris, we're getting a little bit of a slow connection. So your audio is coming through okay, but your picture gets frozen every once in a while.
Right.
And right now it's frozen on when you just said twist, I think. and you got a really great looking grimace there. Yeah, it was perfect.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's just FaceTime kind of froze up there. I thought I'd let you know what the kids were seeing upstairs, but it was really funny. Anyway, so Maya, I'm just letting you know too. So we're hearing him fine, but his picture might be a little skippy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
To all the children I've scared, I apologize. Didn't mean to.
We'll let them know.
That was a momentary face. Normally I'm smiling.
Yeah, like now.
Yeah.
We'll just press pause right now. Yeah. Great. Yeah. There's someone?
Yeah.
No, you asked that. Yeah. You didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, you asked about the show, but not the person yet. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So is there someone you hope to work with in the future?
Ooh, somebody I'd want to work with. That's a big one. I love a lot of actors. Ever since I was a kid, I was always sort of a fan of like the character people. So maybe not the main people, but always the side people. Who did I love? I really loved I loved Bill Murray my whole life.
Oh, yeah.
Like from Ghostbusters or anything like that. I always thought he was great. Speaking of Ghostbusters, I think Sigourney Weaver is pretty amazing. She's a great actress. I'm also old. You guys are cool and young. I'm as old as the hills. So probably most of the people I like are old. I'm trying to think of people your age. Do you have a favorite show that you like to watch, Maya? Maybe somebody from something you like.
Yeah.
Like what? What's one of your favorites?
Bizaardvark.
Ooh, I know some of the people work on that show. I'd love to be on that show. I like because that's sketch. I kind of like sort of the fun, the silliness of the sketch shows as well as regular sitcoms. Do you have a performer that you really like the most?
Ooh.
Like an actor, who's your favorite actor or actress?
That's hard. I have so many.
I know, isn't
name
it?
Two.
I feel like anytime somebody asks you that, I always kind of have to pick. Well, right now, I think I really like this one person, but it's hard to pick, and because then forever somebody will say like, "Oh, you're the person that was Bill Murray." I'm like, "Oh, I like him," but there's a bunch of other people. I like Jace Norman, who's on Henry Danger, is great. I love the cast from Night Squad. Do you watch Riverdale? I heard that show's very popular.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's good.
Is it good? Who's your favorite on there? Jughead?
Oh. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he seems to be very popular. I share an office with one of the other writers from the show, and she watches it, and every morning we call it Sully with the Scoop. Her name is Nora Sullivan. We call her Sully. And every morning, Sully gives me the scoop on what happened on Riverdale the night before, or The Bachelor, just anything.
Nice.
That's how I keep in touch with the kids.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think you got a lot of people on your answer there, Maya.
Yeah.
Anybody on any of those shows you'd want to work with, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else I want to work with? I'd love to try and do like Broadway or something sometime live. Some people over there. Anybody theatery would be really fun.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe the touring group of Hamilton?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen Hamilton, Maya?
I haven't seen it.
10? Me neither! Everybody always talks about it. I like it. I haven't seen it. I have to.
Yeah.
Tickets are too expensive. I have a family to feed. I can't spend $1,000 on theater tickets. That's crazy.
We'll wait for it to come out on VHS.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wish someday. Maybe they'll run it on PBS. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what was your favorite part about playing Hank on the Thundermans?
I have two different parts of that answer. I'm a big comic book and sci-fi nerd. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, where'd you get those pictures behind you? Those are awesome.
Huh?
I said, where'd you get those pictures, those framed pictures behind you? Those are awesome.
Oh, yeah, I don't know whose office this is. That's just some random... No, yeah, those are mine. I love... so getting to be a superhero on that show was like a dream come true for me. And one of the fun parts is because my character is supposed to be really strong, and I'd either have to punch or crush stuff. So the amazing people in the prop department, they build all these things that looked real. Like one time, and I had to break an anvil in half. And so they took one that wasn't super heavy. It was made out of a really sort of like medium weight foam. And they cut a special cut through it. So when you ripped it apart, it looked like it had kind of like split. And then they used tiny magnets to hold it together. And so they just tell you, okay, when the director says action, you just strain and it'll pop apart. Well, when we're filming it, I was like, okay, here we go. And I started to strain and kind of pretending it was hard. And then I started really pulling, and I was like, I couldn't get it apart. The magnets were stronger than me. And so I had this second of like going, oh no. And there's a live audience watching as we film. There's a live crowd there. And I was like, they're going to see me be the worst superhero in the world, not able to rip this thing apart. And so I kind of had this burst of adrenaline, and then it kind of like really came apart. And so that part's fun for those moments when you actually feel like a superhero, because in that moment when I ripped it apart, my brain said, yeah, I'm real strong.
Yeah.
I'm real strong. So that part's really fun. And then working with the kids and Rosa, the sort of being with that family, I love that. They were all really talented and, like I said before, sweet people. And, especially when you're with the people you're with at school all day or with your family, for us being together all day making the show, sometimes you're with each other like 10, 12, 14 hours, and that can be a lot. So the fact that we all really liked each other, it made it a great experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So you guest starred on an episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah, that's right, I did.
And I love that show.
Oh, that's a good show to love.
Yeah. What was it like working with the cast?
It was really fun. The scenes I had were mainly with Barney, and then I'm blanking on her character's name, but Allison, the redhead. Those were sort of the people that I did the scene with. But I was lucky. The day that I was there, the whole cast sort of hung out all day, and so at one point I was standing outside the stage, and when you're the new person, you kind of don't know everybody. So I would sort of like let them have their conversations, and sometimes just kind of like stand off the side, because I didn't want to be like that weird guy, because I watched the show. So I didn't want to be that person who's like, hey, I love your show, and now I'm on it, so now you have to talk to me. I felt kind of weird about that. So I'd give them a little space, but they would always come over and talk to me. And at one moment I realized that I was standing in this circle with that cast talking and thinking, this is like a dream come true. If I could tell like 10-year-old me that this was going to happen, I would have flipped out. They're all really nice. I think I probably got to spend the most time with Jason Segel, who played Marshall on the show. He was great. He was so nice. He answered every question that I had. And as people would walk by, just from, because they would film the lot where they filmed that show, they make a bunch of other stuff too, and it seemed as though he knew everyone on that lot, all the people from all the departments of all the other movies and TV shows, and that really impressed me, caring enough about other people and their jobs to sort of learn who everybody was. I thought that kind of stuck with me, that idea of everybody's important. It doesn't matter if you're the star of a show or just, in your day-to-day life. It's like kind of remembering and being mindful of other people really stuck with me.
That's so cool.
That's really cool to get to know somebody. They're down to earth. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was really nice.
Yeah. And actually, Josh Radnor is one of my favorite actors. So,
Nice.
like, there's a whole.
Wait, say that again?
Oh, Josh Radnor is one of my favorite actors among like
Oh, he
the
is. He's
giant
very nice.
list that. Yeah. Yeah, one
that's
time,
cool.
like, one of my friends asked me who, like, my favorite actor was, and I, like, named a whole bunch of people, and then, like, 10 minutes later, I was like, oh, and add this person to the list.
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot this one and that one.
Yeah.
And you call him back next week. I got a couple more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite show of all time?
Ooh, of all time. Cheers. Cheers was a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
I started watching that probably when I was probably about your age. Like, how old are you?
16.
You're 16, yeah.
Yeah.
16. Yeah, so I was probably a little bit younger than you. I was probably like 12 or 13. I feel like there was a time, I grew up in the 80s, so there was a show called Cheers that I really loved, which kind of then became Frasier. Like, that one really meant a lot to me. I loved Monty Python. That was a British sketch show that was more from like the, I think, early 70s. Saturday Night Live, I've always really loved. I like Veep. That's on HBO now. That's more of a political comedy, but I like that cast is amazing. I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus is amazing. She's incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is there a show you're currently binge watching?
Ooh, yes. What am I binge watching right now? I'm trying to finish watching Castle Rock on Hulu. That's more of like kind of a scary kind of monstery show, but I like that one a lot. There's a show called Stan Against Evil, which is a monster show. Again, we're kind of going back to my sort of monstery sci-fi roots here. Again, I don't know if you can tell. That one's a really good one. Do you have one that you're binging right now?
Oh, I don't know. Well, we binged watched like over the summer. We binged watched How I Met Your Mother, and then
Oh, nice.
and then the new Netflix show, The Good Cop.
Oh, how is that?
It's so good. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Yeah.
People at work have talked about it. I like Tony Danza.
Yeah, it's really good. And then
All right.
I don't know. I don't think we're really binging anything right now.
They're between binge watches.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's good always to take a break from the binge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're binging 24/7, that can't be good for you.
Yeah.
It's
That's right.
nice to take a break every
That's
once
right.
in a while.
Yeah. So, is there someone you've met that you've been completely starstruck by?
Oh, yes, a lot. I'm trying to think who's a good one. I got to work with Jack Black one time.
No
that
way.
That was super exciting. He was, again, very nice and exactly what you would hope to be. I recently, this might be a little bit too old for your audience. There was a show called The Greatest American Hero, again from the 80s. Chris, do you remember that show?
Okay, real quick, fast story. My dad was a DJ on the radio in Cleveland when I was born,
Yeah.
and he played the theme song to that show and dedicated it to me when I was born.
What?
Yeah. But not, I'm walking on air. Yeah, exactly.
So we did, if you saw this, we did the episode of the Thundermans where my parents came to visit. And so my dad was played by William Catt, the Greatest American Hero, which was incredible. And then my mom was played by Erin Gray from Buck Rogers in the 25th Century. And my brain like melted out of my head that day. The first time William Catt walked out in front of the audience, the DJ played Believe It or Not, I'm Walking on Air. The whole audience gave him a standing ovation and then sang the whole song to him. And it was like the best. The best. So great.
That's really cool. That's a great story.
Yeah.
I got to tell my dad that story now.
Please do. Tell him I say hello.
I will. I will.
Thank you.
So, who's your favorite actor or actress?
Right now, who do I really like? I really like. I said some of those ones before. I'm trying to always find new actors. That's why I was asking you about Riverdale, because it sounds like that one's a really good one. I like some of the CW shows, like Flash. I like that that cast a lot. The guy Grant Gustin, who plays Flash, is great.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot. I don't know how you pronounce her name.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've heard it pronounced every way.
Yeah.
I pretty much always say it wrong. The actress who plays Wonder Woman, I think she's really charming. I think she's great. Trying to think, I like all those Avengers movies. Do you watch those at all?
I've seen a couple.
Yeah? You sound skeptical.
Ask her if she's seen Star Wars.
Have my. Have you seen Star Wars?
Yeah, but
But look at the wall.
Look at the wall. It's behind him.
Did you see any of the new ones or any of the old ones?
the old ones.
The old ones. You're not interested? You don't like it?
Not her speed. Yeah.
That's fair. Well, you know what? We'll have a screening party sometime. We'll watch all the Star Wars movies back to back. We'll do like a 24-hour super marathon, and you'll see. You'll get
see.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I do like the show Black Lightning.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've heard that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love that show.
All right, yeah. There's not enough hours in the day. Unfortunately, I feel like we live in a time when there are so many great things, but I don't know about you, but I can't watch all of them. That's why, like, when you said you binge watched How I Met Your Mother, that sounds great to me. Finding one thing you love and then just absorbing it, that sounds really fun.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's always funny when we get hooked on one show and that's all we watch for a while. Then like all the other stuff we're like taping, like it gets like our DVR gets so full because we didn't watch anything else.
Yes.
It's like giving yourself a present.
Yeah.
That's right.
My daughters do that right now. They love Teen Titans Go. So I've seen a lot of Teen Titans Go lately. And then they're also getting really into makeup tutorials on YouTube. So there's a lot of that in my house right now as well.
Yeah, those are huge.
I don't mind telling you. I've been the model for a few home makeup tutorials.
That's awesome.
I'm not as pretty as you would hope.
I don't know. I can see it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought of another actor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
Who?
just think of it. I was like, for a while.
Who is it?
James Roday.
James Roday. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, from Psych.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
We were just talking about him earlier today.
Oh. Yeah. I love
Great
him.
minds think alike.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. I love his new show, A Million Little Things.
Oh yeah, and that's Lizzie from. I know her from. She was on a Nickelodeon show. She's on that now too.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really great.
Yeah. It's so good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite comedian?
I do. Patton Oswalt's probably my favorite comedian. I don't know if you know him. He did the voice of Remy in Ratatouille, but he does a lot of stand-up, and he's on. Now I'm going to forget. It's a sitcom on NBC where he plays the principal of a school.
Oh, yeah.
AP Bio. He's on AP Bio. He's great. I love Maria Bamford. I don't know if you've ever heard her. She does a lot of funny like voices and characters in her stand-up. She's great. I like Sarah Silverman. I like Brian Posehn, Dana Gould. Paul F. Tompkins is one of my favorites. And I'm lucky because here in Los Angeles, a lot of those people live here, so you can actually go see them live. That's, which is such a treat. Do you have a favorite comedian?
I don't know. I probably
Let me
like.
freeze.
You're probably Ellen DeGeneres and Kevin Hart.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, Kevin Hart's my kids love him. Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah.
I think I've seen Jumanji probably like 10 times now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is Paul F. Tompkins still doing he wears a suit and has the mustache, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he does a bunch of different live shows. I think they're actually coming out. I don't know if they're coming your way. I think maybe they're headed to the East Coast. He does comedy with a group called Spontanea Nation, where he sort of interviews a guest. It's like a talk show, and then he has improvisers take that conversation and turn it into a story. That's a really
awesome.
fun show. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's so talented.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What song are you currently listening to on repeat?
Oh, well, Shawn Mendes is a big star in our house. I don't know about you, Maya. So,
Yeah. I mean,
lot
I'm
of
wearing a Shawn Mendes shirt right now, so.
Oh, I didn't notice. Okay, he's a big one. Is he your favorite?
One of my favorites, yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of how it is. It's sort of constantly rotating, and that's kind of been kind of a fun thing. Like with being on a Nickelodeon show, you get to go to the Kid Awards, and so sometimes you get to see those artists performing live. That's crazy because you're sitting there, and all of a sudden, like The Rock walks in, or like I think Shawn Mendes was at one of those. Like it's getting to see those people live. Cuckoo. I highly recommend it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. If you could have any song playing to announce your entrance into a room, what song would you want it to be?
Oh, Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Isn't that just everyone's default? I'm sure you've asked everyone this, and have they all said Eye of the Tiger?
They should.
Thank you.
Absolutely,
How
they
about
should.
you? If you could have your entrance song, what would it be?
Oh. I think it would either be So We Did by Brandon Michael Hall, or Legendary, which is by a bunch of Disney Channel actresses.
Okay.
So either of those.
Hear that?
Yeah.
I'm walking in the room.
There it is.
I like that you have multiples. So you have like one entrance song, and then maybe like an exit song as well. Is that how you would do it, Maya? Like one for in and one for leaving?
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Super good idea.
I never thought of that.
If the WWE has taught us anything, it's that you need multiple entrance and exit songs.
That's right.
Yeah. I'll take your word for it. I've never watched that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Do you have a motto or a quotation that you live by?
That's a great question. I think more than anything right now, I try and remind myself I'm kind of finding myself doing it on a daily basis to try and slow down a little bit. And because, it's so easy because you get stressed maybe because of something with school, or, maybe something that isn't necessarily super important, but it was really getting to me. So I have to remind myself a lot of times to kind of stop and catch my breath and be mindful. That's really what I've been saying to myself more than anything, is just like trying to, like when my kids are going to school, I really try and stop everything, put it down, and go give them a hug, kiss them, tell them that I love them, because that is the most important thing, is the people in my life that I love and that love me. So I think more than anything else, it's really just trying to be present and to be mindful and be in. If I'm in a room with somebody, I want to make sure I'm in that room with them and not realize that I was thinking about the grocery list rather than listening to who I was with.
I like that.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So my last question for you is...
Okay. Last one. I'm going to give a little drum roll.
Who do you consider to be a real-life superhero and why?
Oh. Who do I consider to be a superhero? I just watched a documentary about Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't know if you know that name. She's incredible. She is, I think, in her 80s. She still works out with a trainer. She is as sharp mentally as she's ever been. And I mean, I don't know about you, but my dad, like somebody who's still, even though she's maybe older than you would think somebody like her, as active as she is, that to me really seems like a superhero. She's strong. She's fighting to help people. She really advocates. She's done so much for women in the world, and I think in general people in America. So I really, if I had to pick a superhero today, I would say it would be her, the notorious RBG.
That's good. Yeah. Supreme Court Justice. I mean,
Yeah.
doing all of that, and she's also that. That's amazing.
That's right. That's right.
That is amazing.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well,
very cool.
Well, Chris, man, thanks for taking the time today. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. I was so excited
Thank you.
that we got to do this. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
My absolute pleasure. My regards to everybody watching. Thank you for watching. Maya is the best.
Oh, that's so sweet. And hey, we're just gonna ask you for one picture of when you get to be a model again for YouTube makeup tutorial. Okay.
I will deliver on that. You won't like it.
Okay.
But I will do that for you.
Excellent. All right, Chris, you have a good rest of your day. All right.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.